What up, though? Welcome back to the Big Factory 313 War Stories podcast, and I'm your host, Juice. And let them know who we got with us today, nephew.
This Ramonyea Bishop out of Flint, Michigan, from the Family Dollar, the 2020 Family Dollar case.
What's going on with you, nephew? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Feeling good right now.
That's what's up. So tell us what's been going on with that case. I know you want to reach out and give your side of the story because it never was heard. Let us know your side of the story.
Oh yeah, okay. So May 1st, 2020, I was in the studio. I'm an audio engineer. I was recording session, studio session. But then I got a call from my sister, my mother. My stepdad also got a call from him too. They called him first. I overheard him yelling. And then when I went up there to see what happened, he had told me my mama was assaulted by him. That's when I said, dang, what happened? And then he really couldn't say much what happened because he didn't know. My mom was just distraught. Sort like that. So
Right.
after they told him that, they ended up calling me and saying the same thing. But they was already pulling up to the house before they said that. So when they got there, we went up there. I went up there by myself to figure out what happened. I didn't even know my stepdad was gonna come in the store. So when I went in to see what happened, I couldn't even find him. So I went to the cashier and I asked the cashier, did she see anything that happened? We could have possibly brought up charges. My mama bring her charges up on it. But she said she didn't see what happened. But she ended up coming to the trial, so she did see what happened. She lied. I don't know, but I had walked around the store to see if there's anybody, and there were like full shopping carts. I didn't see nobody with a full shopping cart either. So, so by the time I had got all the way to the back of the store, I heard my stepdad yelling, arguing with somebody. So I had followed his voice in the store. I followed his voice. I seen Mr. Munderland was arguing with him. And then I looked to see the sales in his pocket on the unregistered firearm he was supposed to have. But the jury was unaware of that though.
Okay.
So when I seen him pulling his gun, I immediately fired the shot of fear.
That's right. So was the gun ever recovered from him?
Yeah, the gun was found on the floor, laying next to him.
Okay.
The serial number was obliterated. And he wasn't a security guard. He was a door greeter. But yeah, he was also a felon in possession of that gun. So he wasn't supposed to have that gun. Then it's a Family Dollar policy that no workers could even have a gun. So he had broke that rule also. But the jury was unaware of all of that stuff.
So your lawyers wasn't able to bring. Go ahead. Go ahead, finish. You was about to say about the lawyer.
My lawyer had put in a motion for the jury to be able to hear all of that evidence, but the judge erroneously erred and denied the motions.
So your lawyers that you had on the case, what did they actually do for you then? Because where you at right now with your case?
You have 1 minute remaining.
I'm at ICF, the IMAX Correctional Facility, Ionia Correctional Facility.
No. I'm saying where you at with it in court. In court, where you at in court with your case?
Oh, I'm in the. Oh yeah. So I took all these errors down to the trial court. They denied it, so now I'm in the Court of Appeals. Okay. We all in the Court of Appeals right now. My lawyer had brought up all of these facts. I did in the trial. Well, you want me to call right back?
Yeah, call right back. All right, nephew. You ready?
All right, so the jury was unaware of that, but it was errors in the trial court that denied us a fair trial. Also, like it was evidence that the lesser included offense manslaughter, which the judge erroneously erred and denied that instruction. So they failed to give us lesser included offenses of our trial.
Mm-hmm.
Then the judge also erred by not letting the jury be able to hear the facts that he was a felon in possession of a gun, which he wasn't supposed to have, because I was a valid CPL holder. I had a license for my firearm. Okay. He didn't have a license for his firearm. So that was a critical error that the judge had also made.
Okay. And so, what grounds did they deny your first appeal on? Did they give you any reason?
Yeah, you said what grounds did they deny what?
Your first appeal. Did you say they denied your first appeal?
Oh no, it was the first one was an appeal. It was basically just like a motion for a new trial. That's all
okay.
that was. But,
okay.
But that was the same judge that committed all the errors. So my lawyer basically said that'd be it'd be rare for the trial judge to say that they messed up themselves anyway.
Yeah.
Now I'm in my first appeal process right now, which is the Court of Appeals.
Okay, bet. And who you have as attorney right now?
I state attorney Jacqueline McCann.
Mm-hmm. Now let them know what the SATO attorneys are.
Okay, I got the Jacqueline McCann. She's honest. She really for the people. And she really helping. She trying to she together all the errors that I'm talking about herself. She put them together. She seen all the errors in the paperwork that they made,
mm-hmm.
and now she bringing it to the Court of Appeals. And then once if the Court of Appeals don't grant us a new trial or anything, then we go to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But right now, I believe we get heard. She said we should get heard no later than March of 2025 in the Court of Appeals.
And so, what grounds do you think they gave your mother this time for? We understand, they gave you some time for being a shooter, and they you know what I'm saying. If it's happened as self-defense, then you know what I'm saying. You deserve a new trial. What grounds do you think they used to give your mother so much time? I know we go get to talk to her, but what you think they used against all y'all to give y'all all the same amount of time?
Honestly, I think it was they did that for political gain because they was trying to say that it was over the face mask, which they lied about. This case was never over a face mask. I had a face mask. My mom had a face mask. My sister didn't have a face mask on, but she did not go in the store, so I was with a mask. So after that, they basically, I think Becky Whitman mandated that we had to wear face masks just after that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just all a political game for them.
So your knowledge of the story, what drove you up there to the store that day? Can you take us back to what you remember occurred that day?
You said what?
Can you take us back to how you remember that day went that day? What got you up there? What was you told to get you to go up there to the store that day?
Oh man, I was basically that day I was just a concerned son. I had found out that my mom got smacked by a random man in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went up there and concerned me. I was concerned. I didn't know what to do. At the end of the day, I didn't even have a clear thought process.
Right.
Once I heard my mom was started, yeah, I was upset, but I never had intention to go up there and kill him.
Right.
And then, so when I got up there, I seen him arguing with my stepfather. He was pulling his gun, so I immediately fired. I got a concealed pistol license, which he don't. He was a felon in possession of a firearm and the serial number was obliterated on the firearm, but the jury was unaware of all of that.
So, do y'all get all this evidence now on hand so your lawyer could present it?
Yeah, that's everything that I'm saying now in the FOIA, in the Freedom of Information Act, and everything that I'm saying now, my lawyer is bringing up in the Court of Appeals.
Okay. Now, what actually?
They basically used the term security guard on him to make it seem like he was a valid concealed pistol license carrier, which he was not. He was a felon. He was supposed to have a gun.
Right. And they didn't bring that out in the first trial.
No, they concealed all of that.
And do you think how you think what type of job you think your lawyer did in your first trial?
See, my lawyer in the first trial, I believe she did a good job, but she just let them do too much stuff that was wrong, and she just let them get away with it. Like I don't know. She was doing good at first, and then it's just so much stuff that they started doing. It's like they had some type of deal or something. I don't know. But it was crazy. But I believe that she did a good job though. But everything that she let them get away with was too much. It's like once the judge denied everything that my lawyer put in, it's basically like they had a 100% conviction.
Right. Get out of here. So now, what year exactly was this?
That happened in 2020, May 1st, 2020.
May 1st, 2020. And so, what has been like being incarcerated for defending your mother? What you've been going through?
Oh man, it's crazy, but right now I'm a firm believer in God and stuff. So I believe in preordainment and everything. I believe everything happens for a reason. Like this situation made me a better man, a man that I would never be today, probably if I was free for all that time. But I'm most definitely ready to go home. And I know they did they wrong and everything happened for a reason. And now I'm just waiting for the divine time to get up out of here with my family.
So, what's some of the things you done faced with being away from your family? Like, have you lost any loved ones? Have you did you have any children since you've been gone? What have you been going through since you've been incarcerated on this?
Oh yeah, I lost friends, I lost family. I ain't never get the blessing to be able to have a child, so they took that away from me also.
Mm-hmm. How about schooling and all that? What was you doing before all this? I heard you say something
I
about
was an
engineering.
audio engineer and I was a rapper. I used to make music and I used to mix and master and engineer music.
And do they let you have any communication with your mom now?
Yeah, they let us write each other.
Okay.
We can write from mail to mail.
Okay. Did you have to go to get some type of approval for that?
Yeah, we had to do a prisoner to prisoner mail.
And tell us a little bit about the organization that's working with you on your case, so other families could hear about them and might could get their family some assistance.
Excuse me.
Tell the people about the organization you working with that's helping you regain your freedom. So if they got some loved ones or they need some help, that they could reach out to the same organization and get some of the help that they need.
You talking about Stato?
Yeah.
Oh, see, Stato, I believe you only can get like a Stato attorney from the courts because they pull like dockets. You can't like pay these attorneys.
Okay. Is they an organization, or you know what I'm saying? What are they exactly?
I believe they like a law firm. They a law firm.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to look them up.
The attorney that I had in the trial court, she gave the lawyer that I have now. She gave her my case like hand to hand.
Mm-hmm.
I believe like she got help to be able to give me these attorneys. I was blessed to be able to get these attorneys like for free.
That's what's up. So how you thinking looking with the issues now? Why you wait so long to get it? Why you wait so long?
Because it was a process. Once we got convicted, we had to go back to the trial courts to preserve some issues that my trial attorney didn't preserve. That's the real reason for us going back to the trial courts for a new trial. Because if you don't bring certain issues back in the lower courts, then you can't bring them back. You can't bring them back in the courts that's up. So we had to preserve some issues so we can bring them up in the Court of Appeals. But that process took like almost a year by itself.
And what it's been like for your family after y'all caught this case? What type of strain's been on your loved ones, your immediate family? Because I know your sister was released.
Because we all used to being with each other every day, all day, being around each other, being around true love and stuff like that. So with us not being able to be around things like that, I know it been real hard, you know. It's just a situation that I believe that was in God's hands, and now we just waiting on the divine time to get up out of here.
And I know Sis was released. How much time did Sis have to do before her innocence was proven?
She did almost close to 3 years, and then they released her after that.
Okay. And what she been subject to since upon her release that you know of, allegedly?
You said what she been subject to?
Yeah, since she been released, what type of ridicule she been going through?
You know, it still be people like posting on like all the old articles and stuff from the situation that occurred, but I believe that she really don't pay attention to this stuff no more, and she moved out. She actually moved out of Michigan. She no longer live in Michigan now.
That's good. And tell us a little bit more about before that day. What was you doing? How your life was before this crime? How was your life before?
Yeah, I was just doing music for real. Every day, all day, I had to sit in the studio and record and mix and master music. That's what I did. I was an audio engineer / rapper. So that's how I made my money, all the way from the age of 15 all the way to the age of 23 when this case happened. I was audio engineering and mixing and mastering music. That's how I made my money.
What was
I was my own boss.
That's what's up. What was your entertainment name? What you went by?
I just went by my name, by Ramonyea.
Oh, okay.
but as far as that, yeah, that's all I did. I record, mix and master music, and I used to buy my own clothes, shoes, and everything at a young age because I ended up getting a good name in what I did. I ain't never been in trouble. I never caught a felony or nothing. This is my first case ever, and I had a concealed pistol license.
See, that's what I want you to get out. You know what I'm saying? What type of individual? What was your background before this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you never been arrested before. So they didn't take none of that in consideration when you went in court. They just, how old were you? How old was you at this time?
I was 23 at the time. I'll be 28 next month.
And at the time, the judges them ain't taking consideration
you have 1 minute remaining.
That you didn't have no criminal. You ain't had no criminal history.
They let the judge hear that I had a CPL, but they didn't let the judge hear that Mr. Munderland did not have a CPL and that he was a felon. They kept all of that. They kept the jury unaware of those things.
So do y'all had to get a private investigator to find all these resources, all the information y'all got now?
No, actually, we actually knew about this before the trial, but the judge knew also, but he just didn't let the jury hear for some reason. I don't know why.
But do y'all got it as evidence now besides hearsay? Do y'all got written statements about this documents? I mean.
Oh yeah. We got proof and evidence of everything.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to your stepfather and your mother. And then I'm gonna have you come back on and come after them again.
Okay, appreciate you.
I appreciate you for tapping in, and you can call back and finish telling your story with your parents.
Thank you for using GTA.
Okay, we back, y'all, and we got Ramonyea mama on. Introduce yourself, sister.
My name is Sharmel Teague. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I was wrongfully convicted in a Family Dollar issue that happened May 1st, 2020. I was convicted November 2022 to life with no parole.
Until they give you life parole.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I say, tell me why they felt need to give you life without parole.
I don't know how. I mean, first off, I think it's messed up the fact that I was not even there. This case was absolutely political.
Mm-hmm.
And so regardless of the fact that they hid or withheld information and, misled the jury and whatnot, I feel I would have been convicted anyway, simply because it was COVID you know, and that was an era where people were unsure of things that were going on, and with this lighted narrative of a security guard enforcing a code or something just made everybody fall into line with that mess.
Okay, so take us back to that day. What you recall happened that day?
I'm sorry. I hear you
You
so
can't hear
loud
me?
here.
I say, take me back to what you recall that happened, what transpired that day.
Okay. It was the first of the month. I received disability, so I always did all of my shopping and errands on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that day, my daughter and I had been out shopping and whatnot, and she lived in an apartment. She had just moved into the apartments behind the Family Dollar, so she suggested we stop there. So when we stopped there, as soon as I pull up, approach the building, I'm masked up, off rip. I'm driving with my mask.
Okay.
So when I step out the car, the guy immediately approached me. He was really flirtatious and very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
He even held the door open for me as I walked into the store. He was just on me. I cut him out for it. So we began cussing back and forth, and eventually he told somebody behind the counter, "Don't serve this motherfucker." And I said, "Okay." Started leaving out the door. He followed me to the door, started calling me dirty bitches and, you know, things of the nature. So when I get halfway to the truck, I see him raising his hand. First off, they say I spit at him. But if you look at the video, you'll see I was nowhere near him, you know, things of that nature, which they never showed the video. However, when I saw him raise his hand, I took off running across the parking lot.
Okay.
And this big man chased me across the parking lot, knocked me down, and when I got up, hit me down again. This man was 6'3", 323 pounds. At the time, I'm 5'6", 150 pounds. I go to get my daughter comes to break the fight up. Well, it wasn't even a fight, so I didn't even try to fight back. I just balled up. When we get in the car,
Mm-hmm.
my daughter calls my husband and let him know what was going on.
Right.
And that was that. As we went to go and drop off groceries and things of that nature, because we were supposed to eat at her house that day, we went back to my house to drop off groceries. And my husband and my son got into the driver and passenger seats of the car. And that was the nature of that. I wasn't there for, you know, their issue or their arguments and situations, but I have seen videos.
Mm-hmm.
Same videos that they will not release to the public.
Okay.
The guy had a weapon. He was a felon in possession of a weapon. He was never hired as a security guard. A guy from the corporate Family Dollar in North Carolina came and testified to that. And also the guy over security or loss prevention testified that the guy was never hired as a security guard and that he should never have been bothering me in that way. And he absolutely should not have had a gun with an obliterated serial number, which the police and the prosecutors tried to hide during trial.
So was that information released at trial though?
Well, it was not released in the full context as it was. For instance, the prosecutor said, "Yeah, we found a gun under him," and people testified that it was his gun, and that's how they left it. We were not allowed to mention the fact that he was a felon in possession of. We were not allowed to use the fact that he was an aggressive felon who had aggressions against women on his record. We were not allowed to use anything to prove that, you know, that he was pretty much the shit star.
Okay.
Because they already made that narrative that it was about a mask, and I guess they didn't want to make it look like they were lying.
Okay. When he was assaulting you, did anybody else witness this assault besides you and your daughter?
I'm sorry. You're so loud, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I say, when he was assaulting you in the parking lot, Was it anybody else who witnessed the assault besides you and your daughter?
Oh, his friend. In fact, his friend, Anthony, with some dread, a little ugly guy with dread. He was like, man, I think she spit at you. And that's what made him chase me across the parking lot. And during all the questioning and everything, initially everybody lied and said, no, he didn't touch her. He didn't touch her. And then 30 months later, when we come to trial, then all of a sudden they started saying, oh, yeah, he hit her, but she spit on him.
Did you have any physical bruises, visible bruises?
Yes. And when I went to the police department, I showed them. I asked them to photograph him. He said, no, we don't do that. That same night, I was lodged in the Genesee County Jail. I showed them because these bruises were terrible. I still got like a little chuck on my hand where you can tell that I fell on the concrete or whatever. They would not take pictures of it. But it did come up in trial, and one of the sergeants said, yeah, she had some bruises.
Okay.
And that was that.
So where you at with it at?
Like our stuff was like brushed off. We were like pretty much already pre-convicted.
So what you think went wrong at your trial?
The media. The fact that it was during the COVID season. The fact that everything was politicized around that time. The media was fed this story about a mask. And it was so sensational that everybody's heartstrings was pulled on it. Oh my God, we're in a pandemic and this man tried to do this and they shot him or she planned it, and it's just the way the media threw it out there with no investigative journalism. Shit, even the police didn't properly investigate.
So where you at with it in court? Where you at with it in court right now? What levels you on?
Okay, well now I'm thinking it's the second level. I'm in the Court of Appeals right now, and I guess I'm just waiting for the judges to look at it and see all the misconducts and the constitutional violations. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not very hopeful because while we were sitting there waiting for the trial to begin, my family and advocates for me and my family were trying to hire outside lawyers, and all of these different lawyers told them, oh, we can't take this case. This case is too political, which to me meant, oh, I'm screwed.
And so what type of lawyers you got now on your appeals? Are you appealing?
I have a state appointed who I've only seen one time. I've written him many letters and have only gotten like one reply ever from him. He wouldn't even file the issues that I sent to him that he skipped over. They're fixated on what they want to do. Like what you need or what you add does not matter.
Have you reached out to any other organizations?
I've reached out to a couple innocence projects.
Mm-hmm.
One of them told me to wait until I have completely exhausted my Court of Appeals thing.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And another said that they don't do it anymore.
You're gonna have to call back. You're gonna have to call back too after this call so we can finish. No, okay. But we're gonna see what type of resources we can help y'all get to look into y'all case, and see if everything y'all saying y'all got the evidence for. Because you say your son was saying that he got.
My son was a CPL holder, and they just dismissed that, it was just crazy.
And they did find a gun on the victim.
Yes. Also, there was cocaine and other drugs in his system too that they tried to bar from trial.
So y'all have all that evidence?
I don't know if I have it in my files because I haven't went through it. It's too overwhelming. But initially, in all the reports, it's there.
Make sure you call back so we can finish this interview.
Okay, I will.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hello.
We back. You can go ahead and. Can you hear me?
You said do what?
We back. You can go ahead and continue.
Okay, so where did I leave off at? Because it's so much I want to say because I'm actually having someone to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to begin.
We'll start at how they come and get you. Not when after he assaulted you, we left off where he is assaulted you. After he assaulted you, what did you do?
Okay, so I was actually at home. I guess this is hours after this happened. And my daughter called me and said the police were at her house. And
hold on, your phone.
If I can come over.
Hold on, that phone sounded kind of distorted. Go ahead, try it again.
Okay, I was actually at home. This was a few hours after the incident, and my daughter called me and said the police were at her house. So I bombed a ride from somebody and got took over there. The officers asked me, did you get into an altercation with this guy earlier? I said, yeah. I told him what happened. He hit me, this and that. I went home. They took me to the station. I never knew that I didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I've had issues with police before where, in fact, the same police department I sued and settled with in 2012. So I went down there and they blocked the door. I asked, can you not block the door if I can leave? But they blocked the door anyway. I told them what I knew. And somehow, after they put me into some room, they came back and said, oh, you're under arrest for premeditated murder. And in his mind, I'm feeling like this is not real. This is real. Like, well, yeah, I've been locked up May 1st, 2020.
Now, look, when they called you down there, did they question you before they arrested you? Had they even questioned you?
Oh, yeah. They asked me what happened earlier that day. I told them everything from the time I got up and went to the bank and shopping to the time I got to Family Dollar. And the guy was aggressively stalking me. I even told him about he hit me and that. I told him about dropping my daughter's stuff off at home, dropping my stuff off at home. I told him about how my husband took me to the car, drove. It was not my car. It was my kid's other granny's vehicle. First off, I borrowed this. So my husband took the keys to the car. He drove. I never went back. I told him all that. In fact, everything is validated on the video. I just can't understand why the videos didn't do the job.
So what was your actual charge? How did they give you life? What was your actual final charges?
Premeditated. They said that I probably called them and told them to do it. However, my daughter, my son, everybody testified to the fact that, no, she didn't call me. My daughter actually called and let them know that I was attacked by some huge black man. Her phone was there, so she used my phone, which was in the truck on the console. I never told them to go. In fact, I told them, no, don't even worry about it. I'm going to just sue. Because I do sue. Like, there's proof that I sue in situations like that.
Right.
And then after that day, I've just been gone for almost 5 years and a few months.
Now, I know your case is ongoing. Can you elaborate on, tell the viewers what you're going through right now with this case, what all transpired at trial and with your lawyers and so forth to get you life, to get your family life? They gave you, your son, and your husband?
Yes. And my daughter should never have been charged in the first place either, but let me just only have a few minutes. I'll be talking a little fast. As we went through our little trial, preliminary, pre-trial stages, we had a lot of issues to come up. I particularly had 4 lawyers throughout the whole lifespan of the trial. A couple of them quit because they didn't want to address the media about our innocence. A couple of them became prosecutors with the Genesee County prosecutor during my case.
Mm-hmm.
The final one I had, David Clark, was like the worst. He told me the Constitution did not apply to me. He told me that filing motions was a waste of time. While we were in this in the midst of getting ready to go to trial, the prosecutor brought us back to district court to try to add a charge called conspiracy to commit great bodily harm.
Mm-hmm.
The judge was like, we don't have enough evidence to prove conspiracy. And from that there, I'm like, well, he just said, there's no proof to prove conspiracy, so I'm still stuck in trying to understand how the heck I'm in here for some premeditated conspiracy.
Did any of y'all jump? Did any of y'all stand on trial? Did y'all go speak for yourself?
Okay. My husband, my son, and I had the same trial, the same jury. My son and my daughter were the only ones who testified. My husband tried to testify, but I believe his lawyer would not allow it. They wouldn't even admit his, I guess, the transcripts from when he had his police interview.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor continually misled people into believing the guy was a security guard at work, even though he was corrected. They re-showed the Family Dollar scene, even though it was 3 years later and things had been rearranged. There was a heavily armed presence, which was a violation of Constitution, which made it look like, oh, well, they're guilty. We just got to show you this. This is why you have all this protection. It was just so much going on. Not to mention the fact that during this lie, the prosecution, the governor, all of them helped this family to make over $400,000 and something over the lie of him being a security guard, which is still open, by the way, on the GoFundMe. They're still misleading people into receiving funds. And nothing is being done. And in fact, when potential witnesses came up, they wanted to help us,
Mm-hmm.
this family intimidated these witnesses into not wanting to speak. So many people don't want to speak on our behalf because of these family members. And finally got a screenshot to prove that they really are intimidating people and trying to intimidate people. And this is a crime. But yes, since they're in on this lie with the state, they're not being prosecuted for tampering with it. It's just so much injustice in this case. And I just want everything to be revealed.
Well, go ahead. That's why I allowed y'all to come on here and speak y'all piece and try to get y'all some help. If y'all been wrongfully convicted, then we want to bring light on that. You know what I'm saying? Just because the court said
my daughter too. Like I think she got a lying to a cop, or was it not aiding and abetting, but something to that effect after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly, but she and my son had a clean record. They had never been arrested for anything in their lives. My daughter was never even given her discovery packet to see what exactly she was charged for, from the beginning to the end of her thing. She sat in the Genesee County Jail with me for 30 months across the hall from me, not allowed to even speak a word to me even after their father was killed while we were in there. I couldn't hug her. After my mom died, I couldn't hug her. The prosecution allowed the Genesee County to just keep punishing her. She even got locked down for looking at me.
Get out of here.
I swear to God, for just looking at me. They were going extremely hard on her while we was in the Genesee County Jail.
Okay.
And I do believe that the prosecution authorized. Like we begged over and over, well, we're in the same pod. There's only one pod. Why can't we speak? This is my daughter. This is my mom. This and that. No, you may speak on the case. There was nothing to speak about on the case.
Right.
It was all on video. It was all cut and dry. Like, it was just ridiculous.
So each one of y'all was charged with the same.
You have 1 minute remaining.
You can call me back direct. Each one of y'all was charged. Each one of y'all was charged with the same offense.
Except for my daughter, they always gave her, I think, tampering with evidence, lying to the police, and something after the fact.
Because I'm
Which even though she sat in the county for 3 years, she still ended up having to do a whole year of probation and got 3 felonies on her record now because of this mess.
Because I'm just at a loss with your son saying he was the shooter. He did the shooting in self-defense, protecting
Yes,
his
they
stepfather.
ignored it.
How they saying y'all set this up and gave y'all life? That's what I ain't understanding. So you ain't been you ain't
Yes,
put in.
it was absolute defense of others, but they ignored it because they used that narrative of a mass lie.
Okay. Did you ever send any appeals in? This would be your first appeal. You ain't appealed at all yet?
The first one through.
Thank you for using GTL.
Shit. Okay, everybody, this is the son, and we got the mother from the incident that transpired at Flint's Family Dollar. We here at the Beef Factory 313. We don't have no dog in this fight. We here to bring justice for people that serving time that got unjust served to them. The family and the father will be tapping in tomorrow. He will be tapping. He couldn't get in today, so he'll be calling in tomorrow. So we'll be dropping his interview tomorrow. But we give a platform to those who's incarcerated, who didn't get who feel they've been unjustly convicted, and there was some things left out in their case, and we want to bring out everything in their case so they can get the proper justice, the proper sentences. You know what I'm saying? And in their case, they said that it's a lot of things that was left out. They shared them with us, and I'm willing to share them with y'all. And they was willing to share their case with y'all. My condolences to the family. I want to say thank his name, Dupree. Like I said, I don't have no dog in the fight. My condolences to him and his family and loved ones. And the family wanted to share some things that they had to prove that it was more going on in their case. Like there's some things from social media, and it's a guy. It seems like he did some investigating for the courts. He never went in actual details of what's going on, but y'all can look and read for yourself. I'm gonna give y'all a moment and share this with y'all, and just bring attention to the case that we didn't know about. You know, this they side of the story. You know, we heard the court side and the prosecuting them side. Now, here's the family side who actually was there, that actually played a part in this tragic incident. There we go. Just letting y'all see. Like I say, I don't know none of this. All this is new to me. This is my first time talking to the family and getting their story. I didn't follow this story, but now I am investigating this story. And anybody, any people that's in paralegals or any organizations that help with court cases, y'all willing to chime in? I'm gonna have Apple and them chime in and go over this paperwork and just see that the courts handle this properly. Did they get all the evidence, cross all the T's and dot all the I's in this matter? Because the family feel that it's a whole lot missing, and it's amazing that all three of them was charged with the very same thing, but they all wasn't there at the same time. So I don't know how that played out, you know. But y'all could like, comment, and share. And I'm just letting y'all know, getting these stories out here, because the streets ain't what it is. You know, we have this hood mentality and the way of conducting things and how we should handle things. And we need to do a real evaluation on how we deal with our people, you know what I'm saying? As being of the same ethnic, the same looking like each other. Treat the people who look like you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we bringing these cases out. And again, to the Dupree family, I'm not saying Dupree did nothing wrong. I wasn't there. I'm not taking no sides. Y'all more than willing to come on here and speak y'all piece and rebuttal what they're saying. But these are the actual people who was there, where the son was there and then the father be calling. He was there. The mother was there beforehand. With that being said, I'm gonna be closing out. I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, people, there's 1,000,001 stories in the urban community. This just but one, and we're gonna get to more. Like I say, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and please share these stories. You know, share my content for me. I'm waiting on Court to tap back in for his wear. I know y'all seen Chestnut rocking his design, the new design from Corky. He was YBI So I'm waiting on him to get back to sending how y'all could gang, look it up and get it. You know, where his supplies at. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna be getting out of here. Tomorrow, Father be on here from this incident. So tune in tomorrow, and I'm gonna be on here more, getting these stories out here. I'm back. I'm gonna be more consistent. Just bear with me, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm Juice from the Beef Factory 313 War Story Podcast, and I'm out.
And not even about me. You all had an opportunity to have access to the office because this is who I laid down with every night. So he made sure we didn't get it wrong in that office. And it spread and permeated across this country when I was able to tell the real world and the real experiences that when people are treated like animals and savages, then you justify how you treat them. No, every person who goes through the system is a human being, and what I'm here to tell you is that you will be treated like human beings from across this world.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
On behalf of every prosecutor across this country, I apologize for the mistreatment, for the abuse, all the things that have been through. I am with you to end the mass incarceration, to fight for cash bail, to ensure that re-entry for people who have a felony conviction is overturned by people in power, because y'all got a movement over here. Y'all got somebody speaking for